they don't even escape. They get booted by a wish. Like it's
Yeah.
so it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. Let's just say my write-ups are getting weirder and weirder as we go here.
I'm fine with it. Again, once you're done your write-up, I'll do an intro for what the show is, and then we can get into the discussion. So just don't
Sounds
jump
good.
straight into a discussion.
I do have a write-up for each movie, though, just so we can cut it or not. I don't care. Do whatever you want, but
okay. No, I'm good with that.
Just because
throw both in, and we'll see what makes the cut and what
Yeah, I wrote the second movies, and then we discussed doing both. So I was like, well, I'll just write the third one too. Whatever.
Do I not have? Wait, where's my? Oh no. Okay. Okay. Cool. Apparently, I didn't save my notes from this one. That's fun.
You know
That's
what?
gonna make for an interesting episode.
I
think we'll be fine. What's up, nice? What's up, wonderful D? Good to see you.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
Oh, we are live here on a Thursday evening, looking to talk some movies. Decided somewhat last minute to do both of them just to pull the Band-Aid off and get it over with. So,
I mean, there's not much to say about these movies, right?
That was kind of it. It's like I don't have much to say about either one of these. Like even the Home Alones were like, how do I put it? Like kind of fun bad.
Yeah, kind of fun bad.
Like we'll talk about it, but like I didn't even get that close. Anyways, whatever. We'll get there. We'll talk about it for sure. I don't want to talk about anything like pre-episode because like I really don't know that I've got that much to say during the episode, so I don't want to like waste any of it right now.
Can we, on that note, can we talk about pre-episode? Can we talk about what we're watching next? Because I don't remember.
I don't think we've discussed it. I think we thought we had another week to go before we got there.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, oh, I don't actually know what we're watching next.
Lumina Bot made me think you went live like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, there's something going on with the Sapphire. As soon as I type anything into YouTube, it's like, you're live. I'm like, no, I'm not. What are you doing?
Welcome in, Panda Blue. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Panda.
Hope you're feeling better, Panda Blue.
Oh, Panda sick?
Yeah, Panda was under the weather, I believe, last week.
Well, that's
Tuesday, bad. Yesterday. My days are all screwed up. Never mind. I have no idea when they were.
It's been a weird week for me. Like Wednesday, I thought was Tuesday, which felt really good, but then today I thought was Friday, which sucked.
Right.
But how have you been, Brian? You had a stream yesterday morning. Were you off work? Not a little too under the Sorry,
this morning
was the weather shitty?
I streamed this morning before I went and did my lawns. I just was up early, and I don't have my phone. My phone, I dropped it and it broke it, so I put it in the shop. $400 to get it fixed. Ooh. Sucks, but it's better than the insurance. Actually, I did the math on the insurance, and I've had it long enough that I would have paid $480 right now to have it repaired with insurance. So, anyway, so I don't have a phone, and I was like, well, and I came out to the studio so I could have my coffee and play my stupid phone games. And then I was like, well, if I'm going to be out here in the studio, I might as well just stream it. Mm-hmm. So I had a little short stream this morning, and then I went and mowed my lawns. It was a beautiful day, and I got all my yard work done, and I'm done for the rest of the week. I have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off.
Nice.
Nothing to do that I have to do anyway. I'm sure somebody will call me and be like, I need my window replaced or something, and I'll have to go do something, which is fine. It's fine, but for the time being, I'm done. I'm gonna
still sick, hoping for a quick death. Ooh. Sorry, Ryan. No. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had yesterday. I got something in my eyes at work, and I don't know what. I don't know what I was handling. I work at a hardware store, so it could have been anything. And so I got something in my eyes and had to leave work an hour early because washing my eyes out in the restroom wasn't working. And I literally came home and I stuck my head into the swimming pool and just dunked my head and was like washing my eyeballs out. Oh. And I almost went to urgent care, but it finally started to subside.
They don't have like an eye wash station at your hardware
it's
store?
The same thing. I'm like, no, it's like a family-owned hardware store in a tiny little town. We don't have an eye wash station. But to be fair, I haven't seen a functioning eye wash station in like 10 years.
Right.
So they used to have them at the mills that I would deliver to all the time, but
Thank you, Elder
Yeah.
Jeremy, for the sub, by the way. Appreciate you. Sorry, I didn't want to step on Run. Too bad. I guess this will
No, I'm just rambling about my day. We're killing time here. Hey, chat. What franchise are you guys interested in us doing next? We don't know yet. We haven't put up a poll. We're going to be doing this a week early, and we want to know from you guys what's a good franchise. I'm thinking like a 3-piece franchise would be nice.
Yeah,
Or maybe a
technically, this was a
4-piece.
3-piece.
Well, it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Don't
This was
remind
a
me.
shit piece, is
Don't
what this
remind me.
was.
You know what?
Man.
This
It
is a
started pretty
classic
strong.
followed
I'll
by
take
2
it.
turds.
Oh man.
I'm thinking we could stick with family friendly and go over to a Pixar and knock out like Toy Story.
Toy
Something
Story
like that.
4? 4 of them, I think?
Yeah. I haven't seen number 4. That's why I
Yeah.
say it. Rocky, Lethal Weapon would be fun. I could go back to Lethal Weapon and see a good buddy cop movie.
How many of those is there? 3 or 4 of those too, right?
4 Lethal Weapons, I believe.
Oh, is there
Yeah.
4? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think so.
Rocky's a little bit long.
Robbie's
There's a lot of
incredibly
Rockies.
long.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of Rockies. Pirates? Oh, good lord.
Pirates is okay, but that starts to be the same movie on repeat.
Yeah,
Pirates
exactly.
starts okay.
Yeah. They all start okay.
I could do a Beverly Hills Cop. I haven't seen the new one. That would be okay.
I haven't seen the new
You know
one
what?
yet either. Yeah.
I've only
Speaking
ever
of
seen the
Bad
first one.
Boys-
I've only ever seen the first one.
Okay. Bad Boys, 48 Hours and Another 48 Hours would be another Eddie Murphy one. We got some people for Beverly Hills Cop here. Okay.
Oh, come on.
I could do some Foley. Bubba Hotep on Rush Hour. Not bad. Not a bad
Russian.
idea.
I mean, if I could get some Jackie Chan in my life, I would not be upset.
Absolutely. Hey, Will, have you seen Everything Everywhere All at Once?
I have. I came to that party late. I just saw that movie last year.
Okay,
for the
I
first
saw
time.
that a couple months ago. Yeah, that was I was very impressed with that. It surprised me. I went into that movie completely blind. I literally was just scrolling through Netflix and I saw the thumbnail and I was like, screw it. I just got to watch something. And I hit it because the thumbnail looked pretty good.
Yep.
And I was blown away. I was so glad I stopped and watched that.
So that is the first movie, well, the only movie actually that I've ever seen in theaters twice within a 24-hour period.
Oh, wow.
Like I went to see it with a couple of buddies, not knowing too much about it, just thinking it was supposed to be kind of fun. Loved it. And I was supposed to go with a date night with my wife the next day to go see Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. And I was like, absolutely not. We're seeing this instead. And she's like, all right, I like the Marvel movies. I'm like, we'll see it eventually. We're watching this. And
Yeah,
she
you
loved it too.
You could have passed on Doctor Strange.
Oh, I
forever.
wish we did. I wish we did.
No, yeah, that was a really good movie. And what's his name? Kihei Kwan, whatever his name is, freaking the Goonies kid. He's so good. He's good in everything.
Good old Slick Shoes, man.
Yeah, he's good in everything. So.
I was glad to see him come
Slick
back
Shoes?
into the limelight.
Yeah, he greases up his shoes in the Goonies.
Ah, okay.
Oh, right. Sorry, Dan doesn't watch 80s movies.
I've seen the Goonies multiple times. It's just I just don't love it the way most people do.
Oh man, Goonies is one of those films where if I'm scrolling, well, you don't scroll through movies anymore, but
Yes,
it used
Deb.
to be when you had like regular cable and you'd be scrolling through channels and you'd see a movie playing. Goonies is one of those where I would stop and I'd give it 15 minutes no matter what, just wherever it's at.
Where it is
Give
at,
it 15 minutes at least, if not finish the thing. Yeah, Demillion, we're trying to get some ideas for movie franchise to do next week because we're gonna do 2 and 3 of NeverEnding Story because we want the story to end.
Yeah, this never-ending story has to be over.
Oh man. Want to do Mission Impossible? There's like 8 of them, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of Mission Impossibles. We're trying to do like 2, 3, or 4 tops.
Yeah, two or three-hander would be ideal.
John Wick's got 4, and it's honestly the same movie all 4 times. Though I do enjoy John Wick movies. I think they have great choreography.
I like. Well, anyways, we'll discuss that when we get there.
I like
There's
Bourne.
Oceans, isn't there like 6 Oceans movies as well?
Depends on if you include the female one. And even that, I think there's only like 3 males, 1 female one, isn't there?
Well, there's
Ocean's
11, there's
11?
11, 12, and
11,
13. I don't know
11,
what
12,
8 is.
13, and then Ocean's
Yeah,
8 is the female one.
is the
Oh,
female.
okay.
I'd say it's in the franchise. I would say.
I
I would
don't
definitely
like,
agree because there's not. If there was 3 female ones, I could be like, okay, we can do this in 2 parts. But if there's one
Right.
female one, and I've heard no talk of there being a sequel, yeah, we can just wrap it all together and that'd be fine.
An American Tail and Five Goes West. Oh my goodness, Bubba.
I would be curious to do American Tail. I have no desire for Five Goes West.
an American Tail is kind of like The Secret of Nim for me. I remember it being better than it really is.
And that's kind of what I'm nervous about.
When you go back and watch it, you're like, "Ooh, this is really old." What's up, bitches? Yeah.
The Ridge.
Have you guys? So I am not a fan of when they take a franchise and they flip it and do like an all-female version, like they did with like Ghostbusters, or anytime they do that. I've never seen them do it in a way that I was like, "Oh wow, that worked well." I'm not against the idea. I just feel like it's always forced. And it comes out being more agenda driven than story driven, and it's never good. I can't even think of a single movie where they went back and did an all female cast, and I was like, wow, I'm glad they did that.
I don't think I disliked Ocean's 8. I'm not the biggest Ocean's fan to begin with, so I wasn't going into it with a ton of love. It was they're all fine, but I feel like 8 was like on par with those. Like it was okay. I've never saw the Ghostbusters one, and not because like whatever.
Not because you hate women.
No, I hate Ghostbusters.
You might like this one then.
Yeah,
maybe.
The only
I don't know.
It's so funny. So they put this all-female cast in, which is again whatever, does feel agenda driven because it's pretty much the same characters, only female. And then they put in frickin' Chris Helmsworth to be this dolt ditzy ass secretary, and he steals the movie.
Yeah.
So like they're trying to push like, hey, females can do all this too, and there's only one
and he's
male
supposed
actor
to be
who
like this
steals the
female
whole
eye
show.
candy.
Exactly. But
And
he plays it so dumb and it's so funny. Like he's hilarious in the movie.
Yeah, he's the whole movie for me.
Yeah.
And I was kind of frustrated because like Demillion said, they're very talented and very good at comedy, and they put them in that movie, and those girls are not funny in that movie at all. They're just not funny.
Because it's bad writing.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say anything. I've not seen it, but I mean, it's a chunk of the cast from Bridesmaid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody in chat said Run hates feminists, and that's actually not true. I am a huge feminist myself, but I'm more of the old school feminist where I don't think women need to have an all-female cast in a movie to prove a point. I think there are strong enough females out there that are actors in movies that showcase the feminism amazingly well. I just don't think that there are enough of those movies out there. I don't like this idea where we make an all-female cast because it comes out on the nose, and you miss the point.
I think I'm going to piggyback off your point. Maybe I'm going to disagree with you. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go. I think we absolutely do need female movies that are entirely female cast. What we don't need is to take a male cast and just flip the script.
Okay,
when you take a movie that is all female cast because it makes sense to be all female cast, again, I'm going to go with Bridesmaids literally just because I just talked about it. Makes perfect sense. Great movie. Very funny. I don't love all of it, but for the most part, great movie. What you don't need is to take Ghostbusters or Men in Black or whatever else and just be like, what if they were all girls? Be like, no, like original ideas, strong women. We've talked about this on the show so many times. Like Ripley, strong woman, female character. We're all totally on board with that, but she's not ripping off a male character. She is her own character.
Right. Yeah.
And it's phenomenal.
Yeah. You don't need to have the females come in and play a role that males already played. I don't mind when they flip it a character in a film or something. That's fine with me. I think that's great. But yeah, taking the whole cast of Ghostbusters and making him female, it just didn't work at all. And I don't know. I love seeing strong female leads in movies. I love like who was it? Michelle Rodriguez in
Fast and the Furious?
Well, she was okay in some of the Fast and Furious in the early days, but like in Resident Evil, dude, I thought she was badass in Resident Evil, the first Resident Evil movie, which wasn't a great film by any means, but her character was amazing. I don't know, there's lots of great female leads. The movie Monster with Charlize Theron, oh my God, what an amazing performance by that woman in that. You know, I just don't think that we need to force it. That's all.
Yeah, I another problem, unfortunately, is that the majority of Hollywood isn't writing for strong female leads.
100%.
Yeah,
and that's kind of part of the issue, and why people are like, okay, then we're just going to make an all-female movie, which is maybe not the best choice, but maybe feels like an only choice sometimes, because they're like, oh, it's a Ghostbusters name, so people will come see this, even though it's just the same old schluck that was already.
I just think that we should get some strong, talented writers in there that can put together a script with
blame Hollywood. Blame
well, I kind of blame Hollywood, but I also kind of blame the audience to some extent, which is like, if you take,
I've been there.
Yeah,
right. If you take Fast and the Furious 11 or 48 or whatever they're on, and it's bad, people go, it's stupid. What do you want from it? If you take that and make it all women and it's bad, they go, they made it woke. That's stupid. Like they blame the fact that it's women versus the fact that it was poorly written. And that bothers me a lot sometimes. But what are you going to do?
My biggest gripe, I think, with the 2016 Ghostbusters, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, Dan, because I know you'll be aching to watch it.
I mean, you know what? We'll probably get to Ghostbusters at some point on this franchise if it goes long enough.
Should I hold?
No, you should absolutely spoil, because I do not care enough.
Yeah. So my biggest gripe is okay, they made it all female. They're like, okay, this is feminist forward or whatever. If it is, I have no idea what their idea was. But if that was the case, why was the only black character, Leslie Jones, still like the subway worker and not one of the genius scientists? Like, it made no sense why you would make that character a lower tiered character in the movie if you're trying to promote equality and feminism and all of this stuff. Like, what the hell? You missed the whole mark. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's brutal. It's brutal to me.
Sorry, Damalian, I might have missed your first comment. Something about Wonder Woman and to me, I like to have a tentpole comparison: Wonder Woman 1 versus Captain Marvel, Fury Road's Furiosa versus the female Ghostbusters. I think 2/3 of Wonder Woman is incredibly well written.
Yeah,
and Captain Marvel exists.
They both had their problems. Wonder Woman definitely was a superior movie.
I think until Wonder Woman turns into just a giant fight scene, it was pretty good. I'm sorry, Ron, what was that? I talked over
I'm not happy with any superhero movie for the past decade.
Yeah, that's going back pretty far. That's including like Endgame and stuff like that.
Endgame was kind of the end of the fun for me.
Infinity War was definitely better. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I liked both of them. I'm an easy mark. I still like a lot. Well, I like a chunk of the superhero movies that are even still coming out now. If you watch my review, I actually liked what's the newest one? Thunderbolts quite a bit. Didn't love it, but I liked it.
I haven't seen it.
You watched part of it. Did you see it in theaters and walk out?
No, I watched part of your review.
Gotcha. Well, that's fair. I can't blame you on that one.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. Marvel superhero movies are going to be hit and miss forevermore because they're an easy money grab. They're in the Fast and Furious realm right now of just pump them out, right?
Yeah,
I think they're starting to reconsider because they've dipped a lot, DC and Marvel. So you've seen them kind of backstep a little bit now, but hopefully that means they'll think through their scripts.
I'm curious about the new James Gunn Superman that's coming out. I'm very skeptical. There is a lot going on in that trailer, and I'm like, is this
Agreed.
a 4-hour movie? Because that looks like 17 different stories interwoven, and I don't know how they're gonna have any kind of a theme or thread or whatever with that whole thing. The only thing I liked about it was the take on Lois interviewing him and he kind of losing his cool as she points out the flaws of the situation. And I was like, that's an interesting take on that dynamic. But other than that, I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be great. So we'll see.
I'm curious about it. I've never been the biggest Superman fan, but generally speaking, I like him in media. Like I like his TV shows and his movies more than I like his comic books.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious for it. And I think I like pretty much what I've seen of James Gunn. Like I like the Guardians. What else has he done?
He did.
Did he do that like zombie show on Netflix? I didn't love that much. Or was that Zack Snyder?
Didn't he do one of the what do you call it? Suicide Squads or something?
Oh yeah, okay. It was okay.
He did the.
I mean, he tends to write movies with a lot of stuff going on.
Yes, he does juggle a lot in his movies.
Yeah. Can't believe I finished dinner just in time for this. Well, glad to have you here. That was Snyder? Okay, yeah. I thought, as I said it, I was like, no, I don't think this is right. I think I blamed Snyder for this one because...
Yeah, and then there's Peacemaker or something is the TV show that he was doing?
I haven't seen, but I hear really good things about.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't watched it. I'm not a fan of...
I mean, I haven't gone out of my way for it, so...
John Cena, I don't like him at all, so... Not my cup of tea.
He's a writer in Guardians of the Galaxy.
James Gunn, yeah, he helped write.
James Gunn is, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, writer and director for those ones.
Yeah.
John Cena, I mean, I give him a lot of leeway because he's apparently like a legitimately great dude, like a person in real life.
Yeah.
But I mean, can I think of a movie he's been in where I was like, wow, good job.
Wow.
Slither?
You're a wrestler. You're a wrestler, all right.
Yeah. Damalian really wants to know if you liked Logan or not, Run. This is the third time he's brought it up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did like Logan for the most part. It wasn't amazing, but it was one of the better ones, and I appreciated watching it. I've seen it twice. It was fun even the second time. I wasn't a fan of Peacemaker.
You did see Peacemaker?
Yeah, I've seen it. Okay. I wasn't. It's whatever.
I really
I'm not a big John Cena fan, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I really liked Logan from an art perspective. It's not a very fun movie for me. Like, it's not one that I go back to for just like a Friday night, just like, I'm just gonna throw this on and enjoy. It's like it's pretty heavy and dark and just kind of bleh. Like whenever movies have characters that just like kind of hate each other and are rude to each other the entire time, I kind of tune out a bit. But
why do you have me here then?
I've been asking myself this for like 6 months. Like the first 3 months, I was like, this is great. And then it's just like, Thursdays.
I have somebody to talk to. This is awesome.
So
careful what you wish for.
out of all the movies that chat's kind of listed, what are you guys leaning towards? I'm thinking maybe Beverly Hills Cop or 48 Hours or Lethal Weapon. One of those buddy cop movies kind of sounding good to me. What are you guys thinking?
I just saw Lethal Weapon like Christmas time. So like I've you know what? I've never seen either 3 or 4. I don't even know which one it is that I've not seen, but I've not seen that entire franchise. But I've only ever seen one Beverly Hills Cop, so I'd kind of lean that direction personally. It's been years since I've seen the first one, never seen any other ones, and there's a brand new one out as of I think last summer. That could be fun.
Yeah,
I would be fine with Beverly Hills Cop or Rush Hour. I would go either of those.
I could go Rush Hour. I don't think I've seen the third Rush Hour either.
Yeah. I don't think I've only seen 1 or 2, maybe. I know I've seen 1. I don't know if I've seen 2, or is there 3?
There's 3 of them, I believe.
Okay. I could do Rush Hour too. So chat, what do you think? Beverly Hills Cop or Rush Hour? What should we do? Throw it out there quick so we can lock this in, because we got to do this for next week.
1 second. We can do this easily. New poll. What movie?
Thanks, Emma.
What game are you playing, Will?
Some mobile game I'm sponsored by. It's called
Heroes of Time or something.
Heroes of History. It's a fucking city builder trash.
Oh,
yeah. It's actually not the worst city builder I've ever played. but I wouldn't recommend playing it.
Omega Man says Rush Hour 4 is in the works. Maybe we should do
I think
Beverly
they
Hills.
said Rush Hour 4 has been in the works for like 10 years. I don't know if it's actually ever going to happen.
All right. Well, there you go. The poll is up. Feel free to vote however you feel. We could have had something. What do you want? Heroes of History, Rush Hour. Oh, Windstorm wants to know what our take was of the NeverEnding Story 1 before we get into this. I believe we were all very positive on it. The acting was a little bit weak, but as far as the actual story, as far as the
themes and
the effects go for the time, the themes, we were all pretty hyped on it. And currently, I'm looking at my list right now. It is tied with the Dollars trilogy at the very top of our list. There is literally no chance that's going to survive this evening.
No, we knew that, though. We knew that.
Yeah.
Rush Hour 4 not announced yet. There's no official in the works at all on that. So probably we could go either way on this.
Yeah.
Bubba Hotep votes Boondock Saints. Unfortunately, there's only one Boondock Saints movie, so we can't do it because it's not a franchise.
There's two.
There's not. There's one.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
There's only one.
I mean, I don't blame you, but
yeah, I watched like 15 minutes of the sequel, and I was like, nope.
What sequel? I don't know what you're talking about.
Exist.
But can I just say, Willem Dafoe, mwah,
in the first in Boondock Saints, yeah.
Oh, so good. I love that man.
Both actors are willing, but there doesn't seem to be a commitment to it. Billy Connie was in 2, so it counts. I don't know what you're talking about.
Bubba, he's erased it from his memory and has no interest in ever retouching that.
Yeah, Dan's running the server and the votes. I have a feeling it's never gonna make it to a vote, so I'm not even gonna press for it.
It looks like Beverly Hills Cops is the vote over? That was fast. That felt fast, but okay.
Is it Beverly Hills Cop?
Barely. It's 4-3, and I don't know if I have to set it for a certain amount of time, but that felt like it was maybe like a minute, and I was hoping to be like 20, but
yeah,
okay.
I think it defaults to a minute if you don't change it.
Gotcha. Rush Hour 4 without Brett Ratner is going to be like one of those Home Alone movies that shouldn't exist.
Yeah, Home Alone without freaking what's his name?
Macaulay Culkin. He took a shiny stick from Men in Black to himself. I would have if that had been an option. I mean, we're like realistically, there's no fucking rules here. We could do Beverly Hills Cop straight into Rush Hour and then do something else afterwards, right? Like it's
for sure.
It's fine.
I've got a list of so many movies. I've got it's like 3 pages long of just like franchises that we have and haven't talked about, of just like things that were like, oh, I think of this franchise, I'll just add it to my list of ever adding things. And there's some bad ones on there. Let me tell you.
Fun bad or bad bad?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Windstorm said either didn't vote. Axel F was pretty good. I don't have any like love or nostalgia for Beverly Hills Cop. I've only seen one of them. We will see how it goes.
Fair enough. Yeah.
All right. So
it sounds like next week is Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay.
Hit some Eddie Murphy. Hit some Eddie Murphy. Let's do it.
I mean, Eddie Murphy in the 80s. This is going to be a little potentially riskier. I don't remember the movie very well, but
yeah, I think it's okay. That said, though, we've been hitting the 80s hard here.
Lots of Blue Lightning.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
Probably not in Beverly Hills Cop. I could be wrong, but
we didn't have any Blue Lightning in NeverEnding Story, but we had Blue Lasers.
We absolutely had Blue Lightning in NeverEnding Story. I don't know if we had it in 2 or 3, but in the first one, there's definitely some Blue Lightning.
Yes, but not in 2. I didn't see anything in 3.
No, I didn't see anything in 2 or 3.
So. We were in the 90s by that point, right? So
I mean,
Blue Lightning was out.
In fairness, on my first watch of NeverEnding Story 2, I didn't see much of anything, so had to watch that one twice, unfortunately.
Yeah. Should we also? I was wondering, like, if we know there's a sequel or another franchise movie coming out, should we hit up that franchise so we can catch that movie?
Well, I was thinking about that a little bit too late because I thought about that ahead of time for Jurassic World. So like we're ready to go for the next one when it comes out. We're going to be doing that one as soon as possible. I wasn't really thinking about it, but like with Cobra Kai being relatively hot and it just ending, and the new Karate Kid movie having just come, it's like, damn it, we should have been set up and ready to go for that one. That would have been probably the smart play. Exactly. But maybe it's worth like one of us or both of us, all of us sitting down at some point, just like going over what's coming out over the next year and a half, and just being like, okay, you know, there's going to be a new. There's a new Predator coming out. We're already set and ready for that, so we can do that as soon as it comes. But if there's like, I don't know, Avatar 3 or something coming out, be like, okay, cool. Let's make sure we get the avatars out of the way so we're ready to go for that one.
I instantly regret this suggestion.
It was the first thing that came to my mind. I'm sorry.
I know.
Hey, if we can treat the Cornetto trilogy as a trilogy, I am 100% down to put that on our list of things to watch. Those are 3.
I think I discussed that a while ago and you shot it down. So I'm here for it.
Really? Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and
because
World's
they're not
End?
a trilogy, not because you don't like them.
I don't think they are a trilogy, unfortunately. But
yeah.
I mean, I typed in Cornetto trilogy, it popped up those 3 films, and it's like a thing. So
yeah, I think people refer to it that way.
And after doing the Dollars trilogy, I think there's an opening, you know?
I think the Dollars trilogy kind of opened the door to that, where we're like, they're not really related, but they're a lot of the same actors and same director, so like, whatever, we'll get there.
I think that if it's out there as a trilogy in the movie zeitgeist, then I'm okay with it, you know? I just don't want to be like, let's go over all of Smith's movies or something. So...
Well, so the nice thing is Kevin Smith has run out of ideas years ago, so he is franchising most of his movies. So it'd be easy to do like the Clerks franchise, the Mallrats, the James Bob. Like, I mean, it is its own universe in the same way that the MCU is, but it's also like Clerks 1, 2, and 3. Like it's very easy to do that and be like, that is a trilogy.
It down into the trilogies,
There's a movie franchise I'm curious to do. I've never seen them, and I'm blanking on the name. It's like the Before trilogy. It's like Before Dawn, Before Dark, and Before something else. But my understanding is they're much more dramatic movies. And I'm really curious to check those out and do something. Because like nothing we've done on this list is particularly dramatic. It's all kind of comedy or child or action.
Lots of action.
It'd be nice to have one that's just like, no, this is just people sitting and talking and like see how that goes. I don't know anything about the trilogy though, so I don't know what it actually is about. But I'd love to find something like that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of franchises because those dramatic.
Yeah, you usually wrap it up at the end, and that's that.
Yeah. Unless you go, I guess you could go kind of into the mobster movies.
Before sunrise, before midnight, before sunset. Okay. I've never seen any of them.
Neither have I. Somebody suggested it on YouTube, and I was like, I'll look into that. I'd heard of them before, but I've never seen them.
Ethan Hawke isn't terrible.
Generally.
Julie Delpy, I'm not familiar with the female on that too much. I don't know. I mean, I'll sit and watch that with my wife. It's something she'd get down on, and you know, just to mix it up. I like a variety. So
Daywatch, there's the Daywatch. Those are movies. Those things are wild.
Daywatch?
Hold on. Then you can also think of something like The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo as well.
Damalian has a great point. There is a new 28 Days Later coming out. 28 years later. We can be ready for that one. The trailer reaction I did on that one did pretty well for my channel, at least. So maybe that's something we can work towards. I don't know where your guys' thoughts are on zombies, but I like the first one. I don't remember the second one.
The zombies keep on coming.
I remember liking the second one as much as the first one.
Okay. I remember really liking the first one and being like, on the second one, but I couldn't tell you literally anything about it.
So 28 Days Later was the one that kind of broke the mold. It's the one that's famous for moving zombies, even though there are actually other zombie films that have fast moving zombies before that. But there were a lot of people that didn't like that for some reason. But once that idea was out there and they started putting that in a lot of different zombie showcases like The Last of Us, people like fast-moving zombies now because it makes the action so much more intense and exciting.
World War Z or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like fast moving zombies. This is the dumbest reason ever, and I fully admit
please. Yes.
that. Because I wouldn't survive that world. Like when I'm watching movies, I think about what I would do in the situations, and I would die so quickly to fast moving zombies, especially World War Z ones where they can like anthill up a wall.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm done. That's the end of Dan. Sorry, guys.
Black Summer
most of
has
us
so
are.
many sequences of people running away from a zombie near endlessly. Like those actors had to be fit to film that movie because there's such long sequences of them running and running and running. And a lot of times it's just this showcase of how much stamina do you have to get away from this like one zombie that just won't quit and you don't have a gun or anything to beat him up with.
Yeah.
And it was always neat to see the cardio in that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to throw this out there. Let's postpone, or what do you guys feel? What do you guys think about postponing Beverly Hills Cop? Because 28 years later comes out in 3 weeks. So that gives us a week for 28 days later, a week for 28 weeks later, and then we can do 28 years later, the week that it comes out.
Okay. I'm down with that. I'm always good for zombie films.
Cool.
And then we'll do Beverly Hills Cop after that. And so we've got the next 6 weeks planned out, 7 weeks planned out.
Yeah. That sounds
I'm
pretty
okay
good.
with it, just to catch it while it's hot.
You good with that, Will?
Yeah, I'm game.
Cool. All right. So next week, 28 days later, then 28 weeks later, and then we'll get to 28 years later in theaters.
Yeah, who doesn't like a little Cillian Murphy or whatever the hell his name is?
Now, it
I
does
like Cillian Murphy. He's good. Did you see Red Eye? That was a good one.
I have not seen Red Eye.
I didn't see Red Eye, but I know what movie you're talking about.
Yeah.
It says that it comes out on June 20th, which is the Friday, but usually they come out a day or two before for whatever. So we might do the first two and then have a week to kill and then see it.
Yeah. It'll be close though.
Oh yeah, Peaky Blinders for sure.
I've never watched Peaky.
You're gonna spoil it the first week. Ooh.
I should.
That's a fair point.
Well, yeah, I think we do.
I think it
it
might be unfortunate
like a few weeks to come out on YouTube, right?
Well, that's just it. Like for the Jurassic Park, I was hoping to edit it like the weekend that it comes out, so it could be fairly soon. But I think if we preface it, there's going to be spoilers. Then the people on YouTube who come and see it are going to see it knowing that it's going to have spoilers in it, and they're going to be the people who were there excited to watch it day one, anyways. Right? Like the people who are going to watch our show are going to be the ones who wanted to see it day one.
Channel and watch it the day before.
There you go.
We're not responsible for their viewing pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a people's preference, right? People's preference. If some people don't care about spoilers, some people do, and they can choose if they know that's what we're chatting about. They can choose. We can
even put it right in the title, like just discussing 28 years later spoilers. It's on you if you click after that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we know what we're doing for the next little bit. We'll figure out what to do for that filler week, and.
All right.
Never mind.
Push commercials, Dan, and then let's.
I was just about to, but we're actually on commercial right now. So.
Oh, okay. Hey, what do you think of the Doom game? You were playing that, weren't you?
It's the exact same as the last ones, but with a parry. It's fine. I think Eternal's better. Eternal had a leveling up system, so you could actually like feel like you were progressing your character. And so far, I'm like 6 or 7 levels into a 19 level game, and I am the exact same character I was before, but I just get a different gun every now and then.
Oh yeah,
it's fine. It's you know what? If you have Xbox Game Pass and you can play it for free, have at it. If you're going to spend $80 on it, save your cash.
I'm all right.
I feel like, I mean, I'm not a huge Doom fan, but I feel like they're all pretty much the same.
Well, every now and then,
fine. If you like them, right? Like, it is what it is.
Every now and then they change it up, right? Because like Doom 1 and 2 back in the 90s were, pretty much the same game. And then when they brought it out again in early 2000s, it was more like a horror game in space.
Yeah,
like they tried to really go into the scariness
Doom 3,
of it.
and I'm like in the minority there.
Yeah. And then after that, they went like Doom 2016 was back to being like a fast-paced action game. And this is the third of that one. So who knows if like Doom 2028, they'll be like, all right, let's revamp it and do something different with it. They have changed slightly, but they're all pretty much the same. Yeah. It's a Metroidvania. What the fuck? Yeah, okay. It looks like we're back from ads. I can't force them, so it's probably the longest time frame between now and the next time we get them. So
Let's do it.
I guess we're jumping right in. Let's go ahead and hide the chat overlay. Make sure we're on the right one. NeverEnding Story 2. Perfect. Will, you are good to go?
Okay, do you want me to do the read for the number 2 and the number 3 right now, or just the number 2?
Let's do number 2. We'll talk about 2, and then we'll jump to 3, and you can do another one for that if you're cool.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, just wanted to make sure.
I won't do a second intro after the third one because theoretically everybody will.
We're just
maybe
rolling
we
through.
could make 2 short episodes.
Yeah, do
not.
whatever you want.
Probably
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, thank you. I think I shall.
The NeverEnding Story 2, the next chapter, 1990. After Bastian forgets almost everything from the first movie, they go ahead and make a second movie where Bastian forgets almost everything.
I'm purposely keeping it a second or two longer because every now and then I'll like cut away from you while you're still talking, and it's like it looks so stupid to have us there after you're done. So I'm like purposefully letting you stew for a second.
That's fine. I'm also.
I should have told you that was going to happen because you're just sitting there looking at the camera like, "Come on, dude, come on, dude."
Yeah, it's fine. I'm still just stewing in this movie. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I hate when you zoom in on me. I'm like, Dan, you told me not to monologue so long. Get the camera off me.
No, because it's better for viewer because like it changes up what you're looking at. I just need you to also like pass the ball every now and then. Anyways, sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to, I was going to say the Mongoli show. Too bad. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Our Rating, the show where I get together with a couple of my friends. We take a look at a movie franchise, break it down by movie, give it a score, and throw it up on the board. I'm joined, as always, by my buddies Will and Brian. Will, how are you doing this week?
Living the dream.
Fantastic. How about you, Brian?
Ready to end the story.
Excellent. It sounds about right. Now, this one, I believe we said we were all new to, and we're going to discuss the third movie today as well, which was brand new to all of us. But had either of you seen this one? Did this trigger any memories from childhood, or is this fresh for you, Will?
I had seen the second one, at least majority of the movie, probably caught it on, the TV as they repeat trash movies over and over again. So I think I've seen most of it when I was growing up, but conveniently forgot most of it as well.
Fair enough. What about you, Brian? Any memories at all?
Yeah, ditto. That's the same thing. I didn't realize it, but I had seen most of the film and chose to forget it, and will probably do so again.
That's probably the best way to go. I don't remember anything of this. This is a completely fresh movie to me. We owned a 2-pack with NeverEnding Story and this one, and I still had never watched it. And in fact, I watched this with my daughter, who did enjoy it, but I fell asleep on the couch next to her, so I had to watch this one twice in the last week, which was, let me tell you, a pleasure.
Now, Dan, when you came into this one, did you have high hopes? Because last week we went over the first movie. We all scored it pretty high for a variety of reasons, but it was a solid film. Did you expect anything out of this?
You know what? It would have been interesting if one of us had a different take on the first movie. Not that one of us necessarily disliked it, but if one of us had not seen it before and could have come to it clear instead of with nostalgia glasses. Because coming to this one with no nostalgia for it whatsoever, this was a rough watch. Now, that's not the question you asked. You asked me, did I have any expectations for this one going in? I can't say that I did. I looked it up ahead of time, and like the first movie on IMDb got like a 7.9. This one got like a 5, and the next one gets like a 2.5 or something. So I knew it was going to be a pretty steep decline. I think 5 is pretty generous for this one. I guess that's a bit of a spoilers for later in the show, but this is not a 50% for me. I don't know. What about you, Brian? Did you have any expectations going into this one? Are you hoping for more than you got?
I was hoping to find something positive to latch onto, because in the previous movie there were so many different things that were kind of amazing about it. These themes, these ideas, the children dealing with anguish and pain and deep emotions and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, maybe they're going to have something like that in this. No, there was no depth to this movie whatsoever. I was very disappointed that I couldn't find a single thing to latch onto. This was a horrible experience for me.
The one thing in this movie, and I feel like it was more accidental than anything, is like the first movie had the nothing, and then this movie had the hollow.
The emptiness.
And that's exactly what I would describe this movie as, is just being hollow. The emptiness, sorry, whatever. The enemies crash and we're empty inside. Is
the nothingness, the emptiness. It's the same thing, just like a different angle on it. They couldn't come up with something.
It just felt a little too on the nose for what the movie actually was. And I was kind of like, wait, do they know they're making a bad movie? Like, are they aware right now?
Okay, so one of the themes that I thought that they maybe were trying to do, but failed in my opinion, was that they had the evil Empress lady who was kind of playing like this wannabe Bastion's mother character, sort of. And I felt like the movie neither played into that or steered around it. It was just kind of a coincidental thing, and it didn't work at all. And it was like, okay, you have this kid who misses his mother, and you have this woman who could play on those strings, but never really did. Did you guys get that at all? Will, what do you think? Any themes that you caught on to?
Here's the thing, and anybody who's watched us go through these movies, these franchises, may notice this, and you two probably have noticed this as well. If it's a movie that has broken the mold or gone above and beyond or somehow made it against all odds, I'm really into it. I'm really into looking up backstories, how the movie was made, all these fun tidbits. I like to bring all of this fun trivia or lesser known facts to the table because I'm like, I'm involved. I love it. I love it. And then there's movies like this that come along and they're so mid, not even mid. They're so boring that I can't even be bothered to look up why this is such garbage. I don't even know if the emptiness was part of the book. I didn't even care because I was so disinterested by the lack of depth in the themes and the storytelling and all of the messaging that is supposed to be put towards the child watching these movies that they had in the first one. It was all absent. It was all empty. This movie was nothing like the first one and needed to be everything like the first one.
Well, and realistically, if the writers don't care, why should you as the audience?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And they clearly didn't care. Neither did the set designers, neither did the cinematographers, neither did the lighting specialist. The actors clearly didn't know what they were doing. This was a travesty from start to finish. And if IMDb gave it a 5, I think they gave it 4 too many. I was like, guys, I had a hard time finishing this film. I really did. I did not want to sit through this. It was horrible.
I'm not kidding when I said I fell asleep the first time. Like I couldn't stay awake. And I tried. I tried being like, I have to watch this. We're going to review it. I tried staying awake. And at one point I'm just like, you know what? F it. Like I passed out. I did watch it again. I've seen this movie all the way through. But yeah, it was tough. It was not, and it's not even like, you know what? We just did the Home Alone movies. And as bad as those were, they were at least kind of fun bad. Mm-hmm. I really just didn't even have fun bad with this one. Like the problem, I think, is it was also just kind of insulting to the first movie. Like a lot of the props, a lot of the design, a lot of the world building that took place in the first one, a lot of the character building even that took place in the first one, they just completely got away with. Like Bastion, the childlike Empress, everything feels like brand new characters, almost like they were actually trying to get away from the first movie as much as possible, even to the point where like the whole point of the first movie, well, not the whole point, but like a big story point of the first movie is that he names the childlike Empress. He gives her a name. And then in this one, there's no mention of Moonchild, sorry. She's just the childlike Empress. Again, all the actors are different with the one example
in the credits.
Sorry?
I think her name was Zyla or something weird, like a Z or an X name.
That was the mistress of emptiness, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but they didn't call her a Moonchild. Yeah, they didn't go on that. And I don't know why Atreyu had the headband. I thought that looked dumb on him. I was like, are they trying to make him more Native American? Is that what they're like going for?
Hey, here's the thing. like you took a movie, which I was wrong. I looked it up again. I looked up the NeverEnding Story the first time, and it said it was made for 27 and made 15, and I was like, oh, it failed. No, it did not. It made like 100 million plus. Like I was looking at only Germany or something incorrect, so I apologize for that. The first movie was a massive success. It took them 7 years to come out with this. After the massive success of the first one is a larger budget, and every single thing in this movie looks cheaper.
Everything.
Like every single thing. Like even Atreyu's costume looks awful by comparison.
Did they use a new Falcor for this one? Because it looked like they didn't have either they used the same animatronic Falcor, but the guy controlling it sucked, or it was like missing an arm or something, or they had a bad Falcor. Like it was just terrible.
It looks like he was modeled off of the first one, but they made a new one. Whereas the one in the third movie, when we get to that is like a whole different beast.
Yeah, and his voice was terrible too. Like the new voice that they used was not fun or matched up to the lips at all. Like it was. And the set design, man, the set design was so cheap. The first one had these amazingly like in-depth costumes with makeup, people with multiple heads, different sized people, all kinds of like, and this when he's going through jungles and forests and deserts, like it looks so real and so immersive. And this one looked cheap. Every aspect, it was just people in flamboyant, cheap costumes. They didn't have anything special, no different sizes. Yeah. Like there was a guy with multiple heads and he did not look good at all. It was very disappointing to see that they had a bigger budget and failed so miserably on that front.
So the thing that I had, one of the many things I had an issue with is exactly what Brian's talking about, is when you get to the Diamond City, it's not the Emerald City, but wherever the
Crystal Palace or whatever it was.
The Crystal Palace. Everybody's dancing around. Nobody looks like anything. Like when you get to that throne room scene at the beginning of the first NeverEnding Story, like you can see all these different creatures in the background and they're not focusing on them necessarily. They are just there. And like you can kind of make up the world however you want it to be based off of what you're looking at. But each character
looks like a variety of cultures.
Is unique. And this is just people dancing around in different colored things. They're all the same outfit, just different colors of the same thing. And you're just like, all right. And he falls down that trash compactor or whatever that is, and he runs into like 4 actually unique characters for like a second.
Yeah, the mud people or whatever they were.
There's a mud person and a woman who has to sing everything she says, and a woman who's like dancing in a windstorm. And you're just like, okay. Like, you know what? Technically, you understood the assignment, but no.
The Crystal Palace scene reminded me of the scene in the Marvels when they go into that like town or village or whatever, and everybody's dancing and singing and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. They're just really colorful and dancing around and flamboyant, but none of it really made any sense. Had its own life or anything.
A lot of the characters, the enemies specifically, the crab walking enemies, like just screamed Power Rangers to me. And then you had Zia or whatever Rangers the woman was. And I was like, that's absolutely the Power Rangers main bad guy whose name I'm completely blanking on right now.
I don't know, something. Yeah.
But like this movie felt very Power Rangers to me. I think it's before Power Rangers technically, but that's the feel that I got from this. Whereas like the first NeverEnding Story felt unique and kind of interesting and new. But then you had Trihead. Like his name is Trihead. And when he spins around, he's clearly got like 400 heads in there. And I'm like, your name means 3-headed. The fuck? Why? Like, why not? Like, you don't see the other heads anyways. Why not just have him 3 heads?
He was trying to show off all of them, but he couldn't because he could only show 3 of them.
I know that's a really stupid little thing to get hung up on, but that bothered me.
I hated the monsters, the giants or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like he wishes to like beat him up or something. I forget what his wish was, but it was like really stupid. Like he wished for like a sausage or something.
Wishing for the spray can.
The spray can, yeah. I'm like, wish for a sword or something. Like, I know you're not going to wish for a gun in a children's movie, but a spray can?
You know what, though? It's almost worse. Like, not the gun necessarily, but like if he'd ordered like a stick or something, like, sure, you don't want to hit a kid with a stick, but like, oh, we lost Will. Add to the stream. No, I'm continuing on just wanting to get Will back.
Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
like when he wishes for a weapon, I understand they don't want to give the kid a gun or something, but everybody's house has a spray can in it, and you're just giving kids the idea like, hey, look, spray somebody in the face with a spray can. You're like, why? I understand you don't want to shoot a kid in the face, but why pick something that is so readily available to kids everywhere and choose that to be your weapon? It's like,
okay, when it comes to the wishes, the absolute dumbest scene in the movie. I wish for another step. I wish for another step. He uses up all his wishes going one by one up the side of the freaking cliff. It's like, just wish for a fucking escalator already? Like, this is dumb. It's so terrible.
There's huge problems with the wishing in general. And in that scene specifically, it's like the wishes are playing against him as well, because he wishes for another way in to this palace, and it gives him a half ladder. It doesn't even give him a full wish. So right in itself, it's already just completely trash.
The whatever, the medallion thing is a monkey's paw the entire movie, and especially in the scene you're talking about. Now, admittedly, he doesn't know that the wishes have a negative side to him. Like, that's not explained to him until much later on. So I get that, but even it's just inefficient to be like, and another one, and another. Like, just give me a stairwell, give me wings, give me literally anything. Teleport me to the top, literally anything. But then later on, like, every wish he's hot seems to have some sort of a negative. Like, he wishes for a dragon, and then he has to go and chase down the dragon. He wishes for a ladder, and only gives him half a ladder. He has to wish for like each step individually. And then the movie ends, and I'm starting to kind of jump ahead here, but the movie ends with this really ambiguous wish where he's like, I wish you had a heart. And I'm just like, really? That's how we're ending this? Like, what if she just got a cow's heart? And he's like, I wish you had a heart. And his last one is just like, thump. He's like, well, that was a waste. We win. Like, why was that what you went for? And why did that kill her? Why did gaining a heart, like, okay, you filled the emptiness. Congratulations. You beat the clue. But like, why did she explode and everything go back to normal because she felt bad all of a sudden?
Because the writers didn't care. They did not care. They were like, hey, let's use this name brand over here that made a bunch of money, and we'll just crap out another film and collect our paycheck. We don't care. And neither do I. This film was garbage from front to back. There is no redeeming quality. I really did not like it. And if we're going to talk about the next movie, I think we should try and wrap up all of our hatred here pretty quick and give this thing a rating.
You think we're going to talk about another movie and this will be the end of our hatred? Because I got some words for you.
All right. I've got some positive things to say.
Hey, really? Here I was hoping he would. This is why Will's here.
Not really. But of all the horrible things this movie obviously threw at my eyes, and I had to keep them open, there was a couple of interesting things. I didn't mind the bird character, whatever his name was, Diddles or whatever it was. That was not,
Nibbly or something?
Nibbly, yeah.
It was not Diddles.
Wow.
Diddles the bird. That's a different movie.
Anyway, I liked his makeup, his character. He was cool, and he was kind of torn between doing good and bad. Couldn't convince a kid to make a wish for the life of him, which is more the kid's issue than his. But his character was like the only interesting character in the whole movie. And then Atreyu, they actually cast an indigenous actor, so props to that, because they didn't do that in the first one. So that, I guess, was a positive thing. Is there anything else? It ended. That was good. It was good when it ended. And then at the end, they kind of played the original NeverEnding Story song a little bit, so that was nice. I could remember
the butchered version of it.
I know, but at least we got a taste of something that we loved at one time, you know? So there was that. We don't even get that in the third one. And then, okay, so here's my gripes, though. This whole story, the whole theme, the whole message is Bastian is afraid of heights. So let's go to the NeverEnding Story and sort that out. And then it's not even really about that or anything. It's now I can make wishes when he's been wishing. He wished the whole freaking Fantasia back into existence in the previous movie. Like, right from the jump, this movie is completely flawed. And so it just spirals out of control from there. And that's the problem. And that's a telltale sign that this was just a money grab, went horribly wrong. And so, you want me to rate this thing? 29 out of 100.
Damn it. I wish I kept you on screen for like a second longer.
Doesn't matter.
It's fine. You know what? If I have to give it a positive, the diving scene where like the world falls away and there are just like waterfalls, you can tell like it's not the worst depiction I've seen of showing that somebody is afraid of heights.
Right. Okay.
Once you see it at the end of the movie and you're like, oh, there's the waterfalls. We're just doing that over again. It's kind of like, okay, whatever. But like as it was happening at the beginning of the movie, I was like, okay, like it's not great, but you tried something. You didn't just have him be up there and like, what's that thing they do with the camera where they kind of like zoom out, but they're staying in the same position. It kind of gives you that weird vertigo, like Jaws does it.
Of it.
Yeah, pulling.
Like they could have easily just done something like that and be like every other movie you've ever seen and be like, okay, they tried something different. I'll give them some props for trying something different.
Yeah, they also tried something different, being like, oh, you want to join the swim team? Well, the first thing you have to learn on swim team is how to high dive, because that's what swimming is all about.
Well, and day one, let's go up 30 stories.
That's what ruined the scene for me. Welcome to swim class, says the coach. Let's go to the high dive. And they all look up and up and up and up. And I'm like, he's 12 years old. You're going to push him off a 2-story building? Like, what the hell? It didn't make any sense at all. Not to mention the coach's acting was so atrocious in that scene too. Just horrible.
With everyone else.
Yeah. But I mean, like that set the pace for the whole film. And then, everything Will said, I agree with completely. I did like Nibley, the character, the costume, all that was the best part of the worst movie ever. For me, this came in at a 22 for me. I hated this experience, and I don't want anybody to ever see this again.
Well said. Rurik, if you're still there, I do appreciate you. I don't usually do shots on this show, but you already paid for it. But don't do it again.
And you know what? This movie has caused us to drink. Let's be honest.
That's pretty much where we're at right now.
Oh, man.
Water is soft. Yeah, is it? Yeah. All right. I don't have a whole lot to say that the other guys didn't really say. There was really nothing. You know what? This movie was pretty great because I cuddled with my daughter and I had a nap. And that's a pretty good way to end the day. That's really the only positive I have for this movie. She enjoyed it, so there's that. But again, she might have enjoyed it because she was, sitting with her parents watching a movie more so than she was super invested. The artwork on this, like everything about this felt so cheap. When Atreyu is like riding through the jungles and stuff like that, and it's clearly like a painted background, which like you can get away with sometimes, but like in this, it just didn't work. All the characters felt really bad. None of the designs or characters felt like they were carryover from the first movie. Like this, everything about this just felt like a brand new experience and not in a good way. I'm going to be right there in like the 20 range on this one. It was just awful. And even, as I said, like even the Home Alones were bad, but they were kind of fun. This was just painful to sit through. There's no other way of wording it. And with Brian, I agree. Don't watch this. Watch the first one, end there. Call it a day.
Mm-hmm. There are no sequels to the NeverEnding story.
That's right. Just like Boondock Saints. There's only one.
But like and subscribe. Comment below if you want to see us review the Boondock Saints movies, just to put Dan through it.
Movie.
Please, thank you.
So now the question is, are we going to show the poster as we add them, or are we going to add both of them to the poster and show it plummet?
Oh, right. Do you want to see the scores plummet, or do you just want to see the aftermath of...
Oh, that poster. I was like, I already have the graphic made up. I mean, yeah, we could treat this essentially like 2 separate episodes. And you know what? I might actually do that and have them both come out like Monday and Wednesday or something. Because it'll be super easy to edit these as they're pretty short.
Just quickies.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so give me 30 seconds and I'll just...
No worries.
Sorry, 20, 22, and 29, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Don't even remember.
Yeah, for me, so when I'm watching a film just to watch a film, I think 50 is the mark where it's good or bad, right? Anything below 50 is a movie that I would
Combined.
never recommend to anybody else and probably
Right.
won't finish myself. I would only watch it for the show to finish it all the way through and give it its just due course. When you get below 25, I start having a very hard time finishing that no matter what. Anything under 25 becomes unwatchable. And I really felt this movie was unwatchable.
It's
That's-
bad.
It was that bad.
And again, is this movie bad standalone? If there was no NeverEnding Story 1, say this was NeverEnding Story 1, is this as bad? Or is it because the first one is so good and has so much in it to love and to pass on to generation after generation that it makes this one just pale in comparison?
I mean, that is definitely playing a factor in it, but
And rightly so. It should play a factor. I'm not saying it shouldn't.
I think those movies that are atrociously bad that you love to watch are usually because the people who made it like tried real hard
Right.
and failed real hard, and you love that. This one, I felt no one cared.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about this at all. Maybe the guy who played Bastion thought he was getting his golden ticket. He did go on to create other garbage films, but
Sidekicks with Chuck Norris.
oh God, that's right. Oh, yeah. So this just felt like no one cared, and that's why for me this was so bad, because I could sense that this was, we're not even trying. We're not going to smooth out the rough spots. The story, the plot, the dialogue sucks. The sets suck. Everything is thrown together super cheap, even though the budget was higher. And that just upsets me when you see something that they put together on that budget in that time frame with the restraints that they had for the first one and blew it out of the park, and then to come through and just do such a horrible job. It's just, it's offensive. So I think both things play into effect.
Yeah, I agree. Now, it might be important here because if you watch our next episode, when we review the NeverEnding Story 3, this might come up. The dad in this movie, the NeverEnding Story 2, actually gets right involved in the NeverEnding Story. And by the end is reading the book and knows that Bastion is a part of it and is in Fantasia and helps bring him home. He's an integral part of this movie and this story's conclusion. I'm just going to leave it there because that's very important in this movie.
Yes. Did anybody else? Now, I watched the credits roll by and I saw his name, so I knew it wasn't true. But as soon as I saw him in that horrible lighting, I was like, wait a minute. Is that a young Bruce Campbell? Is that Chandler from Friends? Who is that guy? Oh, he's a nobody. Never mind. But yeah, like it looked like somebody and it turned out to be nobody. So I don't know. This is weird, his appearance. And then why is he always sweating? Halfway through the film, he's just drenched in sweat. I'm like, it's raining outside, but you haven't been outside. What is going on?
You're talking about the dad?
The dad's always,
because he's the Flash. He's always running so quickly.
Oh, that's right. That's where I've seen him. You guys are so good at remembering what they played in. Oh man, the Flash. Oh, good Lord.
Brutal.
I remember him eating the pizza and then running around the track and his clothes all rip off. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We're gonna go.
Yeah. A lot of weird things going on in that movie.
Let's do this. Nope. I don't know why it's taking up so much of the screen now. It used to be like 50-50, but
woo! Wow.
She fell pretty fast. Oh man.
All right. I guess that's the best we can do. I don't know why, but all right.
That's fine.
All right, so there we show after just 2 movies, it went from being tied with the top spot for being up at the 80s there. Now it's way down at the 52.
Bottom
it is still
third.
technically a pass. It is above the 50 mark, but like
As a
The franchise.
as a franchise. Oh yeah, no, this
Yeah.
movie tanked hard. But yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate to see NeverEnding Story so low, but at the same time, they did this to themselves. Like
And
we're just
remember,
reacting to what they did, and their effort was so low, and this is where it ends up. So
this is a franchise. You've got to remember that, viewers. This is the rating as a franchise. So if you like the first movie, be sure to check out the previous video and see us talk about our nostalgic feelings for it and how wonderful that film was. And you can enjoy that. That's not this film. It's not this film at all.
Yeah, that's why we like to rate them individually, because a movie can be good, a franchise can be bad.
at some point, I'm very tempted to go through and do like a giant poster with all of the movies rated for the three of us, or go through and be like, here is Will's R rating, and just like see how different those lists actually are. Like, what's at the top of Will, what's the top for me, stuff like that. Could be fun. Just like as a, I don't know, maybe the anniversary episode or something, have a couple of different charts to go over and be like, look how different Will's scores are from mine, because they will probably be pretty drastic.
Yeah, they would fluctuate a bit for sure. I mean, I think there would be some strongholds in the top and bottom that it will just naturally be, but you're right. There would be some variation, which would be interesting to see.
All right. I'm just going to do a little, oh, that's the wrong thing. Okay. All right, so that's our rating of NeverEnding Story so far. But what's yours? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. We're going to move on and talk about NeverEnding Story 3 before moving on to the, I forgot what franchise we're doing next. What is it? The 28 Days Later.
Woo!
Woo! All right, so that's our rating of NeverEnding Story so far. We're going to talk about NeverEnding Story 3 next week. But what's your thoughts? Leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you. And then once we're done with the NeverEnding Story, we're going to talk about 28 Weeks Later. The new movie, 28 Years Later, is coming in theaters very, very soon, and we're very curious to check it out. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see our thoughts on that, so that we see you in the next one. Got a little fumbly, whatever. T-Daz is begging for us to sing the song.
What song?
No.
Why are we singing anything?
No.
Tell Tadats to be here last week when we did sing the song.
I don't know if you sang it, but it was pretty good.
Well, I think at the end I did sing. Let's be honest.
Did you?
Well, probably.
Oh,
I was singing all week last week because of that song.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is an earworm for sure.
Yeah, she's golden. She's golden.
Yep.
All right. Let's fucking move right into the next one, shall we?
T-Daz is unsubscribing. Rude. Hilariously, T-Daz, as you said something popped up in like my little my window up at the top. I was like, oh shit, he actually did. No, it was somebody else joining up on Twitch. It was just amazing timing.
That's funny.
All right, you're gonna start us into the next one, then we'll go from there.
Yeah, let me find.
Be sure to change that poster.
Good call.
Right up here. Forgot that. Yeah, as you can see, my notes for these movies diminished hard in the second and third. Here we go.
They're extensive. I'll give you that.
The NeverEnding Story 3. Return to Fantasia? Escape Fantasia? Who knows? It's 1994. Just like the whimsical idea of a song that goes on, or having life everlasting, eventually the devastating reality of a story without end crashes down on Bastion like the fists of a bully, not only causing physical damage, but mentally bruising the core memory of the once respected title, The NeverEnding Story.
I would just like to start off by saying...
Whoa. If we're doing two separate episodes, I am going to do a little intro first.
You gotta get your intro, yeah.
Sorry. But I won't do like who has, like we all know none of us have seen this before. So once I do the intro, I'll cut to you and you can start off with whatever you're about to do, okay?
Sure.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Our Rating, the show where I get together with a couple of my friends. We take a movie franchise, break it down by movie, give them an overall score, and throw them on the board to see how they do compared to other movie franchises. I'm joined this week, as always, by Will and by Brian. Will, how are you doing today?
Woo! Happy it's over.
Fantastic. And Brian, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good today. I'm good. And I'm like Will, I'm glad that we're ending the NeverEnding Story. And I would like to start off with saying to you guys, screw you for making me watch this. This was so horrible. This was every bit as bad as number 2. And if you'd like to hear our reviews about number 2, be sure to check out the previous video. This NeverEnding Story 3 was an abomination from start to finish. I do have some things in this film that I did kind of enjoy, but this was even a step down from the second.
I'm going to fight you on that one, actually. I liked this one significantly more than 2. It is not good. It is not good. But I at least had fun with parts of this. There was no joy to be had in the entire second one. There were parts of this that are like, oh, that's kind of clever. Even if the parts were just like, Jack Black? Or like, how did they get Kiss from a Rose in here? Where was the budget for this?
That was my notes.
Little things, but at least there was something. There was no joy in number 2. Spoiler alert for the preview you're going to watch, or the review you're going to watch.
Well,
but there's at least something here. It's not good, but there's something.
There are those little tidbits. Some of the musical renditions, which I hate musicals myself. I'm not a fan. I just never watch any musicals that I've ever enjoyed, and I've watched a lot of them trying to find one that breaks the mold. But this one has a bunch of musical stuff in it out of nowhere. I don't know why. Some of the songs were interesting, I will say, at best. The highlight for me was Jack Black.
Wait,
when you talk about the musicals, are you talking about like him singing?
Weren't you born to be wild, Run?
Yeah.
I thought you'd be right into that.
I don't know. I just don't like musicals, and the music in this didn't do it for me. I was just more interested in how they acquired the rights to some of these songs for their movie.
Fair enough.
It seemed like a lot.
It really felt like they spent all of their budget on the songs and not on the actors, the set designs, the special effects. Like in that regard, sure, everything is a step down. But like, I don't know, something about the nasties, the bullies, and him in the real world, I found more compelling than anything in the second movie.
I agree with that. That was the point for me. Was now I think Jack Black has played maybe 2 different roles in his entire life, and it's kind of nice to know that way back in the 90s he was still playing himself in this, which is okay. I enjoy that role. Jack Black makes me laugh. I don't think he's a great actor or anything like that. I'm not going to give him super praise, but I enjoy his stuff, and I enjoyed his scenes in this. It was a cool character, and I liked the flip at the end where he's kind of a nerd. It was just kind of enjoyable to see that. So I did like Jack Black and the Nasties. That might have been like the only thing in the movie I liked.
I didn't say this was a good movie. I didn't say there was a lot here. It's just there was nothing in the last one.
And there were things in 2 that were really bad, like the set design, the cinematography, the lighting, the acting, and all those got worse in this. I don't know, Will. What's your take?
Yeah, we haven't heard from Will yet.
You both raise great points. It's like, what's worse, like burning your hand on the stove or burning your hand on the furnace? It still hurts either way. It's just like maybe you held on to one longer than the other, and that's these movies. Okay, it just depends on your mood.
Yeah, we shouldn't touch him at all.
It might be that we went from NeverEnding Story 1 to 2, and the disappointment was so huge, and then we went from 2 with no expectations to this, and we're like, oh, it's still a turd, but it's kind of shiny. Like, okay.
I think you guys are bringing up a point. I didn't even really consider this because I'm not really thinking about these movies as much as possible. I don't know why.
It's a mystery to all.
The storyline in 3 made more sense, and the through line made more sense. This kid who is going into a new family. He always wanted a sister. It doesn't turn out the way he wants it to. He's getting bullied in a new place. He has to deal with it. And now the bullies are taking over, and he has to figure everything out. It all kind of made sense. The second one, he can't wish for the life of him. He has no idea. He has zero imagination. Neither of them have imagination. But the second one is so much based on you can wish for anything you want to make anything happen. And he just doesn't. He was just such a stick in the mud of uselessness in the second one. And the story, the writing didn't actually make any sense. Whereas this one doesn't make sense, but at least it follows through on it. Like, at least there is some sort of plot where I feel like the second one didn't have at all. I don't know.
I think if this one had stayed as far away from the fantasy elements as possible, it actually would have gone even up another point or two. Like I will give it props that it didn't just have the exact same characters in it as you see in the last movies. Like it wasn't, how do I put this? Like in NeverEnding Story, you get the Rockbiter. And then you have to see the Rockbiter in the second one and where he goes. And in this one, you have rock people, but they're not the Rockbiter. They're new characters. You have the tree character.
I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be the Rockbiter.
They're supposed to
Really?
be, yeah.
Yeah. He's riding the trike. He's got his baby.
But he's like human size.
Oh. No,
Right,
he's not.
Well, they got the sizes all screwed up.
The sizes are all over the map.
The scientist and the witch were way smaller in this one than in number one. And, and then the Rockbiter wasn't as big. His car was different. And the claymation shots of him riding his tricycle around looked so horrible. Like, yeah, the Rockbiter people were just a disaster.
Yeah, they were bad. They were bad. And so was the electric. Everything was bad. The tree was so bad.
The tree was annoying. Oh, God, I hated his character. And all of it was just awful.
He kept coming off like Groucho Marx. What was up with that tree character? He was terrible.
Every tree joke you can think of, just throw it in. No matter if it has any impact on the story at all, just cut to it, throw in a tree joke, and then leave to the next scene.
Leave. Ha, ha, ha. Sorry. Even the fact
funnier than their jokes.
Yeah. Even the fact that in the Fantasia, they're making real world references like, oh, you're lucky. Let's go to Vegas. Or like, this kid's strong. He's the next Schwarzenegger. I'm like, fuck right off. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, it's so bad because the more I think about these movies, the more I hate myself for watching them. I don't know what it is because they just make so little sense. The character choices are horrible. Bastian throughout is horrible in this movie. He's so bad. He's like, oh, I'm just gonna creepily talk to my sister about the Orin and the NeverEnding Story and like corner her in her bedroom. Like,
yeah, it kept feeling like they were building up for chemistry between the two, and then they went hard into brother sister. And I was like,
I've seen a lot of movies with brothers and stepsisters. I think they're definitely leaning towards.
Yeah, it was no good.
It was so bad, like everything between them. And then he's like hiding this rock child under a blanket and making sure nobody sees him. And then he just leaves him at home, leaves the Orin out in the open, just has zero. There's a zero logic to any choices in this movie. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I had, going along with the zero logic, I had to rewind at one point when the bullies first go into their like cave in the middle of a parking structure.
Yeah,
and it's just like they move a dumpster and all of a sudden they've got this like sweet little lair. And I'm just like, wait a second. How do buildings work again? Like, where is this? How does it, what is going on? Never mind. In this movie, that is not even the thing that makes the least amount of sense. We're good. Just keep going with it.
Yeah. And so, okay, as far as I know, here's what I know. Here's the little research I did. NeverEnding Story, based off the book. It tells about the first half of the book. It was great. Everybody loves it. And we will always cherish it. And we'll pass it down for generations because it is a worthy film. And I have the background to prove it. The NeverEnding Story 2, I couldn't tell you if it goes along with the book. I think there's wishing happening in the book. So I think it somewhat tells the second part of the book badly, butchers it, tears the pages up, and tries to stick them back together with spit and sticks. And then the third one is completely on its own. It has nothing to do with the books. It has very little to do with the previous movies. It just has the character names and just does whatever the hell it wants. That's all I know. I didn't want to research anything aside from that. Oh, except for all three movies. Canadian shout out here, Cleans Canadians.
Wait.
All three movies, all of the real world scenes were shot in Canada for all three movies. They were all shot in Vancouver. So thank you, Canada, for putting this towards us and making this a possibility. I've never been so ashamed.
Yeah, maybe we don't brag about this one.
Yeah, I would keep that out of your corner.
I'm just happy that Canadians were employed to make something, even though it was this horse shit.
Yeah, we'll
all
blame
right.
Canada for this one. That's right.
Oh my goodness.
Because America's never made a bad movie.
Well, and this was Germany, right? So Germany had one hit, and then they went bonkers.
I can't wait for the day that I bump into Jack Black on the street and I'm going to shout out, I loved you in the NeverEnding Story 3. My favorite thing is that when you meet famous people, you should always reference their most obscure film. And this is going to be the one I hold in my pocket for the day I bump into Jack Black. Probably never happened, but I do this for every actor I ever see and can think about it. I go, what's the worst film they've ever been in? This has got to be his, right?
It's got to be up there.
That being said, I kind of think that Slap, was his name Slap?
I have no idea.
I don't know. One of the nasties. Yeah,
of the nasties. I think it was Slap. Whatever. He kind of stole the show in this film for me. He definitely was the only highlight in it. And I'm not saying it was good by any means, but it was the best part of this film.
So apparently, Jack Black, one of the few things that I did look into this, because I was so confused when I saw him, signed up for this because of how much he loved the first movie and was so disappointed in this, he refused to discuss it in interviews for years after the fact. Now, whether he'll talk to you on the street about it now, probably. I think he's probably over it now. He seems like he's over pretty much everything.
He's doing pretty good now.
Yeah. But there was a long time where he's just like, nope. Next question, moving on.
Mm-hmm. Rightly so. No?
Oh, yeah. I don't blame him.
I don't disagree. Jack Black was kind of the highlight of the movie. Was he a believable bully?
No.
The writing says no. The acting says so. The eyebrow says absolutely.
The unibrow was fantastic. Yeah, that was an amazing unibrow. That's what I'm going to say. I loved you and your unibrow in the NeverEnding Story 3.
Exactly. But again, compared to everything else, like he shone compared to everybody else. So, good job, Jack Black. You somehow didn't tarnish your name doing this horrible movie.
I really hated all the other characters, though, even more so than number 2.
Yeah.
Falkor in this was even worse. Like I said, in
this is a totally different design.
Yeah, in the previous video, I said it looked like they used the same animatronics, but the guy was missing an arm and couldn't control him. In this one, the guy was trying to use his foot with like a trash bag painted white. This thing looked horrible, sounded horrible. It didn't make any sense, the scenes that it was in or how they used it or why. None of it really made any sense. And then the other characters that, at least the previous movie, took the look of some of our favorite characters like Rockbiter and then gave them new voiceovers and stuff and then changed the way their characters acted. But at least they looked pretty similar to the same. And Falkor kind of looked the same in the second movie. Mm-hmm. In this one, they just revamped him completely. And everything was out of scale, out of size, looked wrong, looked weird, sounded weird. And then, of course, just the movie's writing and dialogue was just that much worse than the second one.
It was bad. The other thing I thought,
I'm trying to come up with
Falkor, to me, Falkor felt like here you go. Falkor felt to me like Chris Pratt in Jurassic World 4, whatever one we left off on, where he just gave up and didn't care anymore. And so he's just saying whatever the hell he wanted to. He's like, "Oh, my back hurts from carrying this franchise for so long. This is my favorite part of the story when it ends." Like, it's just like so horrible. The lines this guy was given to say for this puppet was just so bad that I almost thought it was funny, but it was just so disgraceful to the original that I couldn't even enjoy it. It was brutal.
Now, these kind of blended together for a little bit. Was Falkor in this one where, like, I can't land? Oh, no, I have to have, like, more landing space before I can, like...
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Like, when did we ever seen Falkor not be able to land on a dime? But, like, okay, sure. It didn't add anything to the movie, so, all right.
Ooh, yeah.
I feel like there's got to be something in here that I just... There has to be a positive, because, like...
You said it already. Kiss from a Rose, Meatloaf. Those are the positives. That was it.
Pretty much.
They tried to make some humor with the two parents, like the mother shouting for them to come downstairs. It became more awkward and uncomfortable and not funny, but they were trying for some humor there. Okay, get better writing. The brother-sister dynamic was so uncomfortable to watch the whole time.
And she just like flips on a dime, just like, I've always wanted a brother. And it's like, what?
Yeah, at the end, she runs up to the stepdad and she's like, Daddy. And I'm like, what? You don't do that in real life. No. It takes years of therapy and forced manipulation to get that kid to like you, let alone replace her own father with you. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, everything about her felt so weird. Like, and even the other mother who's like, oh, did your mom finally get you some plastic? Like, can we go shopping now? And it's just like, who talks like that? Like, what do we Oh, you're absolutely allowed to get, like, now you can get your parents in debt? Ooh, let's go shopping. It's like getting everything for free handed to her. It's just like, this is the dumbest shit. Whatever.
Somebody said, yo, homie, in the film, and I was like, is that from the 90s? Really? Like, man, I'm getting old. Like, yo, homie? Wow.
Most movie started it, so there you go.
The other thing is this was her film, right? Like, her character was the only one that really had an arc. It was late.
Nicole or Natalie or whatever it was.
Late to the game where she's like, oh, I knew this would happen. It was never going to work. My parents divorced. All parents are going to get divorced. And then I did want a brother. And then she comes around and helps him and whatnot. Like, it's her story. But it's so backlogged by just complete garbage and Bastian in full useless form throughout that it's just like there's zero impact. It's just I can't. I was like, now when I was watching it, I wrote, I think it's worse than Home Alone 4, but maybe it isn't. It's hard to know.
Now, you alluded to something in the second movie, which is his dad. And so I do want to go back and touch on that because I'm assuming where you're going with that is the fact that his dad read the NeverEnding Story, was a part of the NeverEnding Story, knew that his son was missing for a couple of days, and was in the book.
Saw him with the Orin.
Yeah. And then in this book is like the NeverEnding Story. What's that? And just like, again, just like every one of these movies, like they have to start from complete scratch, but they're legally obligated to use the same character names or something. It's like, the kids in the other movies aren't doing anything. Why not hire them again?
I know.
Why does Mr. Bookstore owner, whose name I can't remember, now work in the school library? And why does he continue to carry the NeverEnding Story with him?
Convenience.
He always needs to be in the story, and he always needs to try and convince this kid to read the book by
not
nagging him.
Yeah, how many times is he going to say, don't push the red button to this kid and it work?
Just once more. Just once more.
I'm never letting anybody read this book again, but it's along with all the books on the bookshelf.
Well, don't forget how he hid it in the first one by putting it under one envelope.
Right,
don't steal this book.
That was different a little bit because the first one, he did want him to read it.
Sure.
In this one, I don't know.
I think he just wanted to take it from the library is all he wanted.
Like
he
in this one,
reference only
decimal system.
Earth was about to end in this one, right? Like in the others, Earth really wasn't in peril, aside from just, boredom, lack of imagination, which, hello, welcome to our world. But in this one, the world was actually in peril. He threw spaghetti on his wife's face at some point. Like, they were all turning nasty. The world was going insane. Obviously, you have to put a lock on this book eventually, dude, because it's not going. Every time it gets substantially worse for way less important topics of learning. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. We went from the nothingness to the emptiness to the nastiness. And I'm just like, okay, just please, dear God, stop.
Yeah. And so my favorite lines in the movie are the kid's like looking through his telescope, waiting for his friends to come because he obviously has no idea how to find anybody or do anything in the movie. So he just sits and waits for things to happen to him. So he's sitting and looking at his telescope and he's all miffed that his wishes didn't work or something stupid. And then his dad comes in and is like, dude, what's going on? Like, you okay? And he's like, I'm not talking to you. I'll go away. I'm a kid. And then he's like, his dad's like, okay, I'm leaving. And then he's like, Dad, everything sucks. Okay. And his dad looks at him. Okay. Smiles and walks away.
That's parenting.
What the hell was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's so bad. It was so bad.
You know what? My favorite line is unfortunately in the second movie, not in this one, but we skipped it, and I want to go back
Okay.
for like one brief second.
Please do.
When they're talking about like, oh, and he's going to get chased by the speed of darkness, which is faster than the speed of light. And I was like, hang on.
my kid did the same thing. He's like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, that's right.
It doesn't
Once
mean a
again,
thing.
the 11-year-old catches him off, you know?
Oh, so good. Anyways, sorry, we're talking about the third movie, but I had to bring that up.
Oh, it's good. It's great. It's so good. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, also, why is there television in Fantasia?
Yeah, why is the Rockbiter baby watching TV? What was up with that?
Because he's got bad parents too. It's fine.
I was waiting
the bad
for a
parents are everywhere.
TV plug.
But Fantasia is everything about storytelling and books and imagination and creativity. And
Which is dying.
They're just sitting watching television?
Well, that's how they know about Vegas and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
This was showcasing true bad parenting, and even the Rockbiters like to let the babysitter watch the kid for them once in a while.
It's so bad. And like it's like they went out of their way to make the Rockbiter family a bad 90s sitcom, like the dinosaurs. Have you watched that garbage? Oh, yeah. It's like shot for shot remake of that.
Isn't it before dinosaurs though? Oh, 94. Maybe it's like mid dinosaurs. Maybe it's like mid dinosaurs.
Dan said Power Rangers in the previous movie, and you say dinosaurs in this movie. I had those same thoughts for both of them. We're all on the same page with this. The movie's trash. Jack Black, even though not good, was the highlight of the film. None of it makes any sense. The question is, was this 1 point worse or 1 point better than NeverEnding Story 2? For me, and I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here, but I'm ready to give my score.
No, go for it.
For me, this movie was the exact same as the previous movie as far as the score was. I believe I gave it a 22. Except I think it earned a point because of Jack Black and how he was portrayed, but it lost a point in every other thing, which was done that much worse than its predecessors, which already did a terrible job. So this is another do not watch this film. I think that we start collectively trying to implement the Mandela effect on this and say that this was never a franchise and that the NeverEnding Story is just one movie.
It's going to be really hard to do that since it's on the poster, but I don't disagree with you.
Mm-hmm. It's horrible.
All right. There is not much going on in this movie that's very good. Most of it is bad. Most of it is worse. And yet somehow, maybe because it took place in the real world, you had actual bullies chasing an actual kid, something about it resonated a little bit more with me. I don't love Jack Black, but I do like him, and seeing him as a young actor, as the youngest actor I've ever seen him, I believe, was fun for me. The weird little moments where you have like actual songs, it didn't raise the bar at all, but at the same time, it was just that interesting, like, oh, what? How did they get Kiss from a Rose? This came out right before Batman did, so right before that song got crazy popular. So that's probably how they could afford it. Regardless, for whatever reason, and I think most of it is the fact that it takes place in the real world, I did enjoy this more than the second one. It's still not great. It is still just a slightly polished turd. This is a 26 for me. Agreed with Brian. Do not watch this. This is not worth your time. Maybe for like 2 minutes to see Jack Black and be like, oh, and move on. That's it.
Nope. It's not worth 2 minutes.
I would, you know what? I could watch a trailer if you're curious.
There, I guess. 30-second trailer. Okay, well, I mean, I think these guys rated high. The beauty of the first one is the in-depth themes, that I believe children can latch onto and learn from. Amazingly put. It threw together this fantastical world, used great puppetry, great voice acting, things like that, and told a really fun story that. And then they upped it with like some zany 80s music, and it was really kind of out of the norm. It wasn't your everyday typical kids movie, and I think that was all to its benefit. The second one kind of at least followed a similar structure without a story, but tried to put themes of emptiness and lack of creativity. This kid couldn't even wish himself out of a paper bag. But at least there was something tangible of like, oh, there is something to learn here. The third one just gave us straight garbage. It's like, how do we go from these really deep and meaningful themes and messagings and learning to, oh, you've got school bullies? It's just such a downgrade to me that I couldn't rate this higher than the second one, that at least tried to stay somewhat chronologically, somewhat on the same page of a book as the first one. This one just took its own way, threw everything else in the garbage, literally revamped the puppets, changed their characters, erased memories of characters. Like, it just did everything wrong, so wrong that I had to rate it lower. I gave this a 13 out of 100. Don't even bother. I don't know what to tell you. I just can't. I can't anymore. It's too much.
So my one thought on that is I don't disagree. And even as you're saying, I was like, oh, maybe I did rate this poorly, because you're right. As a never-ending story movie, this kind of fails hard. Like, it kind of gets rid of all the fantasy elements of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the second movie felt like it was just throwing fantasy at you for no reason. There was no reason for the fantasy. Yeah. It was just incoherently, oh, we need to make this fantastical. So look, dancing colors.
Yeah.
This one at least tried to make a story. Whether they did it properly, whether they did whatever, it felt like there was a through line throughout this one.
I don't disagree.
There in the second one for me.
I agree with you too. I noted that too when you said it, and it didn't even occur to me that at least this one's story of like the Nazis and bullying in school, like it was like a through line. It kept to. Whereas the first one was like, I'm afraid of heights, but now there's a lack of creativity in Fantasia, and then there's like this woman randomly who represents emptiness, and it just went all over the place. So you're not wrong. This one had a more solid story structure. I just don't feel like it's a never-ending story structure.
And you know what? I agree with you on that point. Yeah. So like I'm with you there. Once you said it, I was
so
like,
hard. It's so hard to rate it because of all of these weird things that we're thinking about. Why this movie's making me think it hurts my heart and brain.
I don't want to think. As an after-school special about bullies, this was bad, but mildly watchable. As a never-ending story movie, this fails hard because all of the fantasy sucked, and I wanted it off screen as much as humanly possible.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So like
100%.
That's an interesting way of framing it. And when you frame it like that, I'm like, oh shit, you're right. Yeah, I did score it a little high for what it was, but
I mean, it is what it is.
It is still my score. I'm still sticking with it.
You overall enjoyed it more, so you might as well rate it higher. Absolutely.
Enjoy is a very strong term to be used here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hated it less, maybe? There you go. Way to go.
Amazing. You know what? I've still had fun, at least talking about it. And I loved watching the first one again. So I don't regret this. I do regret watching these two movies back to back in the same week. Horrible. But I prefer that over extending it over 2 weeks.
I definitely didn't have an hour to speak on this movie and the last movie. So I'm pretty okay with being like, you know what?
100%.
As I said, we got like halfway through the second one and I was texting you guys like, let's do this as one episode.
And I'm super glad that we get to not have to do another never-ending story next week. We can move on to 28 days later.
Ever again.
Yes.
Who knows? Maybe a never-ending story will be rebooted and we'll just have to watch another one.
Well, we did discuss that, and we all said we don't want them to remake the first movie.
Agreed.
Do you think there's any world where they could do Never-Ending Story 4 and have it be not pure garbage.
I think, and they've done this, they've made TV series. I think that would be the way I think they would go first, because it's such a big book that I think it lends itself better to television storytelling, because you can do more in a season, in multiple seasons, as opposed to like a movie reboot. But who knows? Who knows what those crazy Germans will do next?
I wouldn't mind seeing something called NeverEnding, right? A movie that's a total spin-off, new characters, right? But instead of focusing on Rockbiter and Falcor and then remaking them in their own image or doing something horrible like that, instead of that sort of thing, they focus on the themes that made the first movie so amazing for children to watch. Those deep, interesting things and the world building that they did a good job on. Mm-hmm. And go build a new Fantasia with new characters and new, deep, meaningful themes, and go again. I wouldn't mind that, but they can't remake it. It has to be its own thing based in the world of Fantasia.
I think that's a good idea, because in my mind, watching the NeverEnding Story, again, I've never read the book, but it's whoever's reading it, it's their story, so it's going to be their representation, that's
exactly
issues,
what I think should happen, right? Mm-hmm. And we could come up with new, meaningful, and current social issues that kids are dealing with today. I mean, school bullying today is a whole different animal than school bullying was in this film. And you could talk about that, but that becomes more about like mental issues and social bullying online and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I don't even know if you want to go that route, but you could do things that are current today and meaningful, deep thought, well-written stuff that just takes place in Fantasia, and we meet all new characters in an all new world. I would be happy with that.
I wouldn't be against that. And again, this is why the first and original and only NeverEnding Story movie is so good, is because it talks about universal issues that everybody goes through, not just kids, not just adults. In your lifetime, you will go through these issues, and how you handle them varies, and how you can escape the reality of your situation can vary. And it told that story quite well. And I think that's why it can be watched again and again, no matter the generation, because it's set in this fantasy world where not everything is modernized or, cell phone, everything, this and that. It's a fantasy, so you can remove yourself from those modern elements and just focus on the issues that they're presenting us, right?
And some of the themes in the first one were simple. It was grief and loss, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We can all relate to that at any times in our life. Exactly. And so that's why, chat's saying they should remake the movie, and I don't think they need to. I think you can watch the first one. The parents will know what it's connected to if they do a spin-off or something completely different with a similar title, and word gets out, hey, this is taking place in Fantasia. Your parents are going to be like, oh, well, if it's any good and not the trash that Will, Dan, and Brian just sat through, then we're going to sit our kids down and watch it, and have that. But I don't care if it happens or it doesn't happen. I'm excited to move on to zombies next week.
Agreed.
All right. That's as good a segue as we're going to get. All right, and that's our rating of the NeverEnding Story franchise. But what's yours? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Were our scores too high, too low? Let us know. We record this live over at twitch.tv/The Monguli Show on Thursday night. So head over there, hit the follow button so you can hang out with us while we're recording this. Or if you made it this far in the video, hit like and subscribe to let me know that you enjoyed it and so you can see the next one. After this, we're going to be talking about the 28 Days Later. The 28 Years Later is coming out in theaters very soon. So we're going to be watching those in quick succession, trying to get those on the board as fast as possible. So make sure you hit subscribe so we see you in the next one.
Dan, you're going to hate this, but we didn't do a final rating.
Motherfucker. Well, you know what? Actually, that's fine. We can cut that.
You can switch it.
We'll mix it.
I'm just saying.
I got the poster done ready too.
Yeah, you're not.
I want to be done. Just let it be over.
Did I say 22 on the previous movie?
You said 22 on both.
One? Okay, good. Good. That's what I want. Yep.
Okay. I don't like this. There we go. All right, and there is the final score. It is sitting right near the bottom. It is tied with the Home Alone franchise, which is a little bit fitting that both the kids' franchises are right neck and neck there. Still above Highlander, unfortunately. Don't think anything's going to top that one anytime soon. But what do you guys think about this? Does this feel... I mean, after the last two we've seen, I have to assume you're totally fine with this rating.
Run, you like this?
So I think it belongs a little closer to Highlander. The difference here is that Highlander is 4 or 5 movies, only one of them being any good. This is one good movie and 2 of them being really bad. So I think if this had 3 or 4 added on to its franchise, it would definitely be at or below Highlander. But it's just an average is math. It's going to bring it where it is. I think it's worse than the Home Alone franchise myself, but not much worse. So yeah, it's a ballpark.
I think as far as Highlander goes, the first NeverEnding Story we rated significantly higher than the first Highlander movie, and that is what's carrying it so hard. And as far as Home Alone goes, there are 6 Home Alone movies, and 2 of them we give a pretty good score to.
Yeah.
Whereas the 4 after that tanked very, very hard. This one only had the 1 good movie, so I think that's kind of how that evens out. But
so 2 out of 6 or 1 out of 3, it's kind of the same. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just the numbers game. That's how it plays out. Highlander had more movies that were just bad, and the first movie was a good idea that was only half executed. So it sits at
and
the
that
bottom.
one is getting a remake, so we'll see how that one goes.
Yeah, maybe it'll bump it above the NeverEnding Story. I doubt it though.
All right. We good?
I'm good.
I got everything we need.
So. Thanks for ranting and raving. I like that we went quick succession, so we didn't get too bogged down by it.
Yeah, I like that it's 2 separate videos, and then we got it done quick. But
I'm so looking forward to editing it twice.
My wife is sick, and I'm supposed to be putting my kids to bed at 9:00, which was 36 minutes ago. So I got to bounce out of here, guys. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Cheers. Brian. Appreciate you.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good one. All right. I'm looking forward to next week. I'm not going to lie. I haven't seen 28 Days Later in a very long time, but I remember really liking it. And I've only seen 28 Weeks Later once. So, again, curious to get back to that one. And the trailer for the new 28 Years Later, I've got a video on the channel. Head to !youtube.com to go check that out. ! YouTube, check the link. The trailer looks really good. Like I'm actually curious to watch this one anyways. So the fact that we're going to be doing this for the stream, I think is kind of a win-win.
And is this one, remind me, 28 Days Later, it's all the same director?
I think so. No, maybe the second one's different. And he's come back for this one.
That might be. Yeah, you might be right. Because I couldn't quite remember. I knew there was some Danny Boyle, right? Was did the first one. So yeah, I'm interested in that myself. I feel like, much like Sergio Leone, he did his thing, what he wanted to do, and got it done, and it made for good work. So hopefully if we get more franchises like that are like the through lines there with the same people, we'll get some similar quality throughout.
Yeah, it looks like he did 28 Days Later, and he is doing 28 Years Later, but I do not see 28 Weeks Later here.
Okay, who did 28 Weeks? I like you. I think I saw 28 Weeks Later just once and thought, it's not as good as the first. But
the first one felt like it had something to say, and the second one was a zombie movie.
Agreed. Yeah. But I don't remember either of them being bad by any means. So
no, it wasn't bad. It just didn't grab me. It didn't grab my imagination in the same way. It was just like, that was fun. Also, Bridget, this is your biggest fear.
Was Killian in the second one?
I don't know. It's a great question. I don't remember.
I can't remember. Jeremy Renner's in it. I do remember that. I don't remember if Killian's actually in it. I mean, we'll find out, I guess. We'll find out. You know what?
I don't see it here. No, I don't see it here.
Zombies being your biggest fear is actually like a blessing in disguise, because zombies aren't real. They're never going to affect you in any real way. So you're living a pretty good life, B Ridge. Not to discredit fears, because
irrational fears are irrational. Man. There's nothing you can do about them.
They are real to you, and I understand that. But as a joke, You're okay. You'll be okay.
my dad, one of my biggest fears is heights, and so I do not like flying for like any good reason. And like I know that it's an irrational fear, and like I understand how planes work, and I know that plane wings have to like move a little bit, or else they'd rip off the plane. Yeah. But still, sitting behind it and seeing it flap terrifies me. And my dad all the time would be like, "Why?" And I'm like, "It's an irrational fear." I'm admitting that it's an irrational fear, and he'll be like, "Well, why does it bother you?" I'm telling you it's an irrational fear. I understand that it doesn't make sense, but why? I'm like, okay, we're done.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it a phobia of heights, because I don't like heights either. But it's mostly like if I feel safe or I have a rail that feels secure, I'm okay. But if I'm like on a ladder on the side of a house up for 2 or 3 stories, I'm like, okay, this is freaking crazy. But it's not to the point of like I can't function. It's more like how fast can I get out of this situation? Like, please and thank you. Yeah.
I more recently than not have started getting what I think is vertigo. It's never been like tested or anything like that.
Sure.
But just that feeling of like dread. You know what I mean? Like it's not just like, oh, I'm up high. It's like, oh, this is not okay.
Yeah, it's physically affecting you almost, right?
Yeah. Not quite to the point. I think now that I say it, I think vertigo, you get like dizzy. I don't get dizzy per se.
Yeah.
But it's definitely that just like, no, I am beyond uncomfortable. I do not want to be in this situation. I need to not be here.
Yeah, I'd say I'm closer to like a claustrophobic than heightophobic, whatever that one is. Like to the point of people, if I go to a hotel, I have to untuck all the sheets off the bed. I cannot be like wrapped.
Just at a hotel?
Well, no, any bed. That's just an example because they're always tightly tucked in.
Vacuum packed.
Or if I'm like camping, I can't zip up my sleeping bag. I can't be in a zipped. There's like the mummy bags. Like people have like the hood.
My wife has one.
Go fuck yourself. Not going to happen. Nope. And it's not that I would like
elusive cleaning agent swear.
Exactly. It's not like I would freak out and like lose my mind, but I would never sleep. I would never be able. I would just be like moving constantly and being like, why is this happening to my body? So I don't love that. I don't think I'd ever go like deep cave diving where you're like crawling through. Yeah, not gonna happen. But yeah.
For me, I'm very similar. I hate tucked in sheets and stuff like that. It wouldn't bother me if I didn't move when I slept. Like if I could sleep like a rock, I wouldn't care. My problem is I toss and turn a lot, and when I get that like restricted feeling, whether it be like a t-shirt or the bedding or a sleeping bag, I start getting, I'm going to say physically frustrated. Like my limbs will start getting frustrated and start kicking and just getting like spastic.
Yeah.
And again, like I'm not entirely sure like it's not a fear of being claustrophobic, but it's just like a physical urge to not be restricted that just kicks in and just is so involuntary.
But it's uncomfortable.
Weird story from my early days of dating my wife. Well, early days, like early years, I guess.
Anytime we can get more Amy content, I'm here for it.
There you go. This is a weird thing to admit, but fuck it. None of you are going to ever see me in person. I have claustrophobic toes.
Okay.
Going along with what we were just saying about being restricted, I can't stand it. So like toe socks, things like that drive me literally insane. And my kids know it and they use it against me all the time. So I was laying in bed with my wife one time, spooning, and she uses her toes and
Wait, big spoon or little spoon?
I would have been the big spoon in this one.
Thank you.
And she curled her toes around my toes.
Oh,
and like involuntarily threw her out of the bed. Like she landed on the floor. I'm not even joking. And she was totally fine with it because she knew she did it. She did it kind of on purpose. So she was laughing at the situation. I'm like, funny. Are you okay? Like, I didn't even mean to do that. And she's like, nope, that's exactly what I expected. Like, that's fine. I'm just like, funny. Okay, don't do it again, please.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's funny. Yeah, cave diving to me sounds insane. Like, again, it's much like with my fear of heights. If I have to go through small areas, it's fine. As long as I know I can make it. If it's like an extended, long, small area that I have to squeeze through and I can't see around the corner to know where it's going to end, no, I'm not doing that. But if it's like I have to, talking about tales of the past, when I was in uni, Some friends of mine, we're all obsessed growing up with the Ninja Turtles that there could be cool things in the sewer.
Oh no.
So we lived like the university's on like the coulees, so you could go down into the coulees, and that's where the storm drains all drain out. So we found one of the big gates that are usually locked was not locked, so we could go in there and we could go up the storm drains, and we're like, this is awesome. So we got like head lanterns and we got glow sticks, we got markers so we could write on the walls like day 612. Ran out of food, Will didn't make it, but he's damn tasty. And it's just stupid shit pretending that we were 10-year-olds when we're actually 19-year-olds. So anyway, that to me was super fun, and that was like super small, like you couldn't stand up on it or anything, but it was like, I don't know, the adventure outweighed any harmful thoughts of like claustrophobic thoughts I would have. But yeah, so
that's fair. I think in that situation I'd be more nervous about the other things in the sewer than
100%. Who knows
than getting stuck per se.
Yeah, we're going in like 2 a.m. We're doing this, so it's pitch dark anyway, and in there obviously it's even more so. We're yeah, we don't know what we're seeing. We're just going. We're not wearing anything we cared about, that's for sure.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah,
that is gross and funny.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But on that note, I should probably crawl into my own sewer and die for the night.
Oh, that's an interesting poster. What are you doing tomorrow night? Oh, wait, how was Taco Bell? Did you have Taco Bell for the very first time, or are you lying?
It wasn't, here's the thing. There's Taco Bell and there's Taco Time. I remember eating Taco Time. I don't really ever remember eating Taco Bell. Does that mean I've never had it? I don't know. Was it memorable? Obviously not. So
no,
it had been a long time, and I never thought Halifax had a Taco Bell because when I searched for it, it didn't come up. But then my wife was like, there is a Taco Bell in the food court of the mall, and it's the only one in the whole city. I was like, okay, we're going. And Bendable Straws, the fucking guru of Taco Bell, gave me a list of things to order, and it was a hilarious blast. Zero regrets aside from the food was not great. And I ate like $35 worth of it, right? So like,
wow.
I was full, but like by the end, I was like, this tastes the same as this item, which tastes the same as this. I'm like, why did I order 6 items when I could have gotten 2?
Yeah.
But it was a fun experience. I had a blast. I wouldn't change a thing. And I also had the Baja Blast, which I had never had before. So the Baja Blast was new for me, which was great.
Emma, we were looking at 26 for me, 22 from Brian, 13 from Will, for an average of 20 for the final movie.
Yeah.
What is Taco? Not Taco Bell.
Taco Time. Taco Time.
Is that like a Halifax thing or like a one-off?
No. I only know Taco Time from when I was out in Alberta, so maybe it's a West thing. I don't know. I think I've heard some of our U.S. compatriots say they've heard of Taco Time as well, but it's always been a much smaller chain, I think.
Okay.
And I just felt like it had a better looking menu. Not that I ate there much either. Again, like fast food taco places aren't my go-to when I think of getting fast food, except for like Mucho Burrito. I don't know if you've had Mucho Burrito, but
yep,
they're quite good, but relatively new, right?
Yeah. Emma, it is tied with Home Alone, both sitting at 41, right there near the bottom. I'm a little bit sad, honestly. I'm a little bit sad that both Home Alone and NeverEnding Story are below Anchorman.
I mean,
I recognize that's entirely my fault.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all of our fault, but it's also the fault of the franchises that they fucking made these horrible movies. Anchorman only had 2 movies, so it has kind of an advantage in that way.
Sure. Both yours and Brian's score are lower for Anchorman than for either Home Alone or NeverEnding Story, though.
Our overall score?
Yeah, here.
Really interesting.
If we,
I mean, I didn't love Anchorman, but again, I watched it this year and not when it came out.
So yeah, you can see there, like I had a 49. So I did like the first Anchorman
right.
at the time quite a bit, and even now there was some nostalgia there.
Yeah, yeah.
But then the second one was so bad. But I think that's the only one that I'm kind of like, I might like. I'm not going to change it. Like that, our scores are our scores. But everything else, I'm fairly happy with. I'm super curious when the new Predator comes out where that lands. Because it's done. I absolutely loved Prey, and it's the same director. Yep. So like, I am hoping it's on that level. But also, the trailer did not fill me with as much confidence as I wanted it to.
I agree. I feel like Prey's trailer and execution felt fresh, and this one kind of feels like a Predator movie.
Yeah,
but
I'm kind of more excited for Killer of Killers than I am for Badlands.
Oh yeah, that's the animated series.
Yeah, I don't imagine we're going to count that one, but I am curious to watch it regardless.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. That's cool. All right, I'm gonna peace out. Tomorrow, I don't know what I'm doing. Don't ask me, man. I don't know.
Don't ask me. I don't know. Whatever the chat says.
We'll play some games.
Well, this Saturday, I'm going to be playing the cooperative missions in Portal 2 with Dadpool Games. Great so come check that out around 8 a.m. I have played them before, but it was a very, very long time ago. I've played Portal 1 a couple of times, so like I was a little bit disappointed with how much I remembered about it. Whereas Portal 2, I've only played once a very long time ago. I don't really remember anything, and so we'll see. Maybe I'll remember it when we're playing it, but I'm kind of hoping not. I think as fresh as possible.
There's less story to Portal 2, right? Just because it's the multiplayer.
Well, there's a story mode, which has a lot of story, more story than the first one, and then there's the co-op mode, which I think is just like Mission 1, Mission 2, Mission 3. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know if there is there must be a GLaDOS or something in the background just for fun's sake. But I don't know if there's a story per se. I think you were just testing stuff.
I think you're right.
And then I believe Run 7 and I are going to be playing some Split Fiction on Sunday morning. We've been doing that a little bit just for like an hour or so. Just a short stream, but just kind of picking our way through that game, which is honestly been a blast. So that's going to be a chunk of my weekend. And then I think this week I must be doing the Home Alone 4-piece. I think that's the next movie I'm going to be editing. And honestly, I think I'm just going to trim it down and then just put like the trailers at the beginning and just call it a day. I don't think I've got it in me to go through all 4 movies and find the funny slike it's really not and you know what? You know what's going to happen? This is going to be the episode that fucking blows up. Right? Like every other episode's like 50 to 200 viewers. This would be like 3,000 and I will spend no time on it and there's no way to go back and fix it in post. It's like
just accept it.
Yeah.
Just accept it.
Accept it and move on.
It's so bad. I love how you said look for the funny moments. You'll be looking a long time. Mister.
Well, you know what I mean? Like if we talk about like, how did the car jump over the road? Then I had to look for the scene where the car's jumping over the road and then we move to the next movie. You know what I mean? Like it's just like maybe I'll find things that are super obvious. Like I think we discussed like how bad the TV is where it's one big TV with like 18 TVs around it. That should be pretty easy to find.
That was pretty.
But as far as like every little because when I do like Good, Bad, and the Ugly, I try and find a bunch of the scenes that we're talking about as we're talking about them.
Clips. Yeah.
And then like I just don't think I've got it in me. So like this is gonna be an easy edit, I'm hoping. And then NeverEnding Story after that. I think that was it. Did we? Yeah, we took a week off. That's why. So we kind of got caught up on my backlog a little bit. So
nice. Looking good. Looking good.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you, Will, for being here. I'm going to sign off as well, so we'll find someone to raid out to. And we'll see you all on Will's stream tomorrow night or on my own stream on Saturday morning. Again, !YouTube. No, sorry. I lied. !movies.
Movies.
Head over there, hit the subscribe button. It helps out a lot. I'm trying to make more short form content as well as doing the edits for the long form. So make sure you go check that out. Otherwise, we'll see you later. We're going to raid out to Just Pinsy. This is a friend of Dadpool's. We played some headliners with him. Seems like a cool dude. Go give him some love, and we'll see you all later. Hear from the Mongoli Show. Hear from our rating. You guys have a great night. I'm completely just vamping because it takes a while for the raid button to kick in.
Raid.
Cheers. Goodbye, everybody.